Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Wike bombs IU PDP as party's crisis deepens. 38 million litres of petrol smuggled out daily, says Customs CG. ASU on mission to destroy varsity education, says NANS. Nigeria's out-of-school children now 20.2 million, says UNESCO. Oyomesi to interview 86 for Alaafin stool. Why our debt profile will continue to rise by DMO. EFCC arrests Ogun Assembly Speaker Oluomo. And 11.9 billion naira stolen from the Kwara's treasury between 2011 and 2019, says report. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I'll start with UNESCO. So, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, has released a new report, and it shows that 244 million children and youth between the ages of 6 and 18 worldwide are out of school. And out of that number, in Nigeria, we've got 20.2 million children that are out of school. A lot of it has to do with the insecurity challenges that we're facing, they say. They say that these new numbers that we have is because of a new and improved method of collecting data. So this is almost as close to reality as possible. And on the list of those who have really high numbers is also India and Pakistan. So we are in the company of India and Pakistan as for those that have so many children out of school. One of the reasons they say, UNESCO says, getting this data is important. We know the SDG 4, which is equitable and quality education for all. And, you know, many countries have put their benchmarks 2025, 2030. And so this is supposed to help us to see how we're progressing towards achieving this benchmark. It looks like Nigeria is really struggling. So I guess this is
I'm waiting for the Honorable Minister of Information to respond to this, because you know usually when this kind of reports come out, we hear from let us hear the counterfacts and see what exactly the real numbers are. What other story do we have in Nation?
The Controller General of Nigerian Customs have scattered the table. So he has started to query. He was appearing before the interactive session with the House of Reps Committee on Finance on the 2023-2025 medium-term expenditure frame and fiscal strategy paper. And he queried NNPC's 60 million litre consumption statistics that they've been pushing out. He says, if it is true that NNPC says we consume 60 million litres of petroleum products in this country daily, how come NNPC releases 98 million litres daily? And that even the 60 million litres that we are talking about, himself is querying it. He said what he's thinking is, if a person lifts 60 million litres out of their depot today and delivers it, that same person cannot come and lift 60 million litres tomorrow. Sure. So how do we expend the 60 million litres in question? The House Committee was trying to see how it is smuggled out. And he said this is totally not about smuggling. This is about, you know, here. And I like that the House Committee chairperson was saying to him that if NIGECOMSAT were to release the images of trucks leaving the country, maybe that will settle some of these doubts. But he's saying that let's query NNPC beyond that, because even beside of this, we are paying subsidy. That, you know, and this subsidy, if you look at what the custom is declaring as their revenue annually, NNPC is not declaring anything. Yeah. NNPC is claiming 60 million litres and then distributing 98 million litres daily and making the country pay subsidy for that. So he's asking for more probe into the activities of... It sounds like
outright theft.
Yeah.
Yes. Says the outright.
I'm telling you, the robbery outright. Is in the
outright. Let me take this story from the DMO, because, I mean, she's saying exactly what we already know, but let me just say it because she said it. The DG, Ms. Patience Oni, has said yesterday that the nation's debt profile will continue to increase because we are not generating enough funds. We already know that. She said that until the Senate or the National Assembly begins to query our revenue sources. So all the various agencies and ministries that are supposed to be generating revenue for us should be queried. Why are we not making money? Because this debt profile will continue to increase. According to her, the stock at the end of March 2022, our debt profile is 41.6 trillion naira. That is like, and it says, according to her, it says that 85% of the debt is, the federal government was owing 85% of this debt, and 15% was being owed by the state governments. And she also explained that there's something else I wanted to, really important, she said. I can't pick it up right now. But the point is that we will continue to, our debt to GDP growth is one of the lowest. We're also in the company of Pakistan, India, Nigeria, 195th out of 197th. So we obviously have a lot of work to do concerning our revenue, either by most countries' taxes, but here it's difficult to tax because people are already poor.
But we can block the leakages, and one of the things that
what
this
Nima just talked about, it's a major leakage.
Yes, the EFCC nabbed the Ogun State's Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly. His name is Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, under allegations that he was involved in forgery. They said he forged signatures and forged financial documents of the assembly. He said they found him on his way out of the country, and they got the information that tipped them off. Though the EFCC spokesperson for Lagos State hasn't given information, but they've been investigating allegations of him being involved with forgery of signatures.
Yeah, they also said that they had extended invitation to him like on 2 other occasions, and he didn't show up. So.
Let's go quickly to the Punch. NNPC can't justify 6.34 trillion petrol subsidy. You just took that story. ASU strike hits 200th day. Students decry failed negotiations. And court stops Lagos from demolishing Ikoyi buildings. Okay, let's just take 2 stories there.
ASU strike has hit the 200th day. And parents and students are just, you know, we're all unhappy. The reports really just went around talking to parents, stakeholders, and many students are saying that for them, even going through their university education, some of them have said this is like their 3rd strike action that they're experiencing while in school, doing a 4-year course or a 6-year course. Many of the parents say that it's unfair. ASU stands. First of all, they believe that ASU and government have just refused to compromise so that this can be over. But they say ASU stands on getting paid for the 6 months, for the 200 days that they haven't been working. It's unfair and it's insensitive. That it does not show that they care about the students who are at home. They're seated at home. That is maybe because most of these lecturers have options. It's either their own children are not in these schools, or they are lecturers in private universities, so they are not feeling the pain that most Nigerian parents and students are feeling right now. I guess this is just a call to ASU and to the federal government. Let this be done already, and let's move on. You know, when I took the story of UNESCO saying that we have 20.2 out of school children, I was like, did they add these ASU, these numbers to it? Because they've been out of school for 200 days.
And that's almost a year.
Let's take it from that story. The other story.
The Ikoyi building, yes. So, you know, the remaining 2 standing buildings, the occupants or owners or subscribers of it have taken the matter to court, and the court has said remain status quo in the intermediate till the substantive case.
They don't want them pulling it down.
No, you know, Lagos has taken over, and their intention, of course, to pull it down. So people ran to court now to get an order to stop that while, you know, they defend.
So the conversation now has to be with the integrity of the building.
No, until the court orders, I think.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we're moving on now to Daily Sun. Atiku in dilemma as Wike continues to attack PDP. Our leaders united to rescue Nigeria, says PDP. Archbishop Chukwuma advises Buhari to directly interface with ASU, just like Jonathan did. EFCC arrests Ogun, House of Assembly Speaker. 2023, Nigerians will no longer vote for APC or PDP, say Kwakonso. Illegal demolition, court remands Secretary of Benin Traditional Council, 16 others in prison. Autumn replies President asks Buhari to fix security challenge. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, go on.
Okay, so the Archbishop of Province of Enugu Anglican Communion, Emmanuel Chukwuma, is calling on our president to have a physical sit-down with ASU. And this is in response to the fact that government has said that they're calling on vice-chancellors and pro-chancellors for a September meeting. He says it would not be nice that government is seen to sort of cut off the ASU, the union, and have conversations on how to get the schools to reopen, either through blackmail or threatening them. He says that during the Jonathan administration, he sat down with ASU and that he feels that this approach would go a long way in resolving these issues, and also that the president should set up a committee that would go around all these universities and see the level of the dilapidation that universities have been complaining about, and then sit at a table that when he doesn't interface with them directly like that, it almost shows as if he does not care about them and does not see them, you know, as equals. So we'll see how he will take this advice.
The conversation to have. Do you think the president should meet directly
with
sit
ASU?
Down I think it makes sense. Sorry?
I've been
directly.
On the table, yes.
It will make a whole lot of sense because that's one of the issues we have with our president.
Because the people you are having conversations with are not the ultimate decision makers. So ASU will talk to you. These people they talk to will now go and talk to somebody else.
Shows concern.
Yes.
I think when your delegates
empathy
that you have appointed are not doing something when you sometimes you step in.
Have not gotten the...
You're training our school for 200 days. So by now, Ghana, come out and talk to us.
So the High Court in Benin, in Edo State, has remanded the Secretary of the Benin Traditional Council and 6 other members in prison. He said they should be remanded in the maximum prison for what they have done. So these members of the Benin Traditional Council have gone to a community, Ulegun community in Benin, and demolished the houses in that community in a what they call expression of the rights of the Benin people to the land. So these council community members held a protest, wrote petitions to the police, and the police did the needful. They arrested them, and they charged them for illegal demolition, and the court said they should be remanded till then, because the community head who tried to interface with them on behalf of members of that community was maimed, beaten, and arrested by them. So I don't understand the authority. There's a clash now of the traditional authority as well as the legitimate legal recognized authority in that state. The proper thing is that, you know, they get a court order, they exercise that right, and then get an enforcement order if they have to demolish, not that you take powers into your hands. So I'm happy for the community people.
So, yes, I have a story. The Governor Otom of Benue State has been trading words with the president. He had an interview where he accused the president of, that he heard personally from security officials that the president has instructed security officials not to prosecute or kill any Fulani header. And that he's of the opinion that the president is treating the insecurity challenge with kid gloves. The reply to that was from Garba Shehu saying that this is a wrong accusation, they're just trying to score cheap points, and a lot of insults. Now, he's replying, Garba Shehu's reply, to say, whenever I speak the truth concerning the government, that's from the governor, that whenever he says the challenges, the governor's spokesperson simply just attack his person and not deal with the issue. That his expectation is that the president and the presidential media team should answer with blow-by-blow account of how they are dealing with the challenge of Fulani headers that are killing people, that they can, the entire government can see how they dealt with the ipob, and how ipob was proscribed immediately, and how ipob is being dealt with in the southeast, and that same treatment should be meted out to Fulani headsmen. He also mentioned that that most of the people surrounding the president don't give the president the true reality of what is happening on ground. He's asking the president that if the president wants to know the truth about the security challenges in Nigeria, he should have a referendum and let people tell him what they are facing. And maybe that will give him a true picture that most people around him are getting paid by the government, so they would only say what is good in the government.
See, this laissez-faire approach of our president doesn't work for our system, because we need somebody who's directly hands-on. By the way, you see, if you're in a country where everybody kind of knows what to do, then you let your leaders, those who be appointed to do the job. But this country needs we need you to be hands-on. Every area, it might be a lot of work, but you just have to be there.
So he said if it is false alarm, how come Fulani headers are still killing people, there's still banditry going on, and yet there's nothing going on from the government side?
Let's move on to Vanguard. President Buhari. For the story we've not taken, auto crash claims 7 lives in Ekiti. New UK law mandates foreigners to declare acquired property. Interesting. Finally, Tucano jets are being used. Well, I'm sure they've been used. Using Tucano jets, military wipes out 36 terrorists in Sambisa Forest in Kaduna. Whoa. Good news. I'm so busy. You'll be happy to hear that. Displaced persons struggle for used clothes dumped on Maiduguri Road. Alleged financial crime, why EFCC arrested Ogun Assembly Speaker Oluomo. Debt fund, Senate seeks increase in tertiary institutions tax to 3%. Why Nigeria is in debt, says DMO. Soldier killed, van raised as gunmen attack army checkpoints in Enugu.
So let me take the new UK law. This one.
Why did you take the UK law? Why is it interesting?
Oh, you're not into Abi, I'm wondering.
Let us hear what I am sure there's a
Pandora
catch.
papers that expose our people having secret something around some islands and all of that in kingdoms that are
secret accounts.
United Kingdom. The UK has enacted a law, or they have passed a law that says it's titled Economic Crime Transparency and Enforcement Act 2022. This law compels everybody that, you know, who wants to buy, sell, transfer property or land in the UK to register that property with the company's house and declare they are registrable beneficial owners. Not be say you go buy as an agent for one principal that is unknown. So you buy, you declare. And if you have any properties also like that in Northern Ireland, in England, in Wales, all of it, declare. Especially to respond to
Declare. Is that a UK accent?
So we can trace it. So we can trace it.
So we can trace it, so that there's openness. You know, those fictitious names, and they have made it that there will be strong sanctions. Such persons that, you know, are seen not to have declared it as at August 1st, that the law started in 2022, will be facing restrictions in buying, selling, transferring, leasing, or charging their lands or property in the UK. The thing should be stiffer than that. So they should
be here as well.
They should join jail. They should join jail. I want to see that law.
Okay.
Yes, I have another story.
I knew you enjoyed that story. That kind of story you like. Go ahead, Mariam.
This one is sad. Our military, unfortunately, in Enugu State, Eha Amufu, Isuzo local government area of Enugu State, there have been reports that there was an attack at a military checkpoint by alleged gunmen, to the extent that one of the military officers also has been reported killed. His name he's identified as Gimba. The people who were in that area have been able to also confirm that this incident happened, but you know, they say that life has gone back to normal. Everybody has just gone back to normal, but many people said that they were aware when the attack happened and everybody ran to safety. And then in Katsina State as well, very sad story. They said it's called an armored personnel carrier. So this armored personnel carrier are stationed in various communities in Katsina State. Even the governor just recently ordered like about 10 of these. And it follows residents to the markets, you know, from their residents to the markets to help them buy foodstuff as protection. And on this particular day, they ran over a bomb, was detonated over it and killed almost 4 of the military people inside. A lot of them also, so many other casualties. And, you know, really sad. So government is doing its own, as you can see in this case, doing its own to see how they can protect the people. But these bandits and insurgents are really, you know, have a lot of information. Definitely.
Okay, let me quickly take the story on the TED Fund. So the Senate Committee on TED Fund, the Tertiary Institutions and Tertiary Education Trust Fund, made an oversight visit to TED Fund to just see how they've used the budget. So far, as you know, they collect 2.5% of profit from companies registered in Nigeria to invest back into the school, into education. Now, the committee is advocating that they should increase that to 3% because obviously they've used the 2.5% well, and they're hoping that with the 3% they can do better. They're also advising TED Fund to invest in a mathematical center because the need for them to thrive in research, science, technology, and innovation. You can't do that without mathematics. So they're also advising TED Fund to use some of this money to invest in a mathematical center across board. But, I mean, at least we know that the Senate Committee is working and going around to ensure that monies given are being spent.
Let me just take the...
You have to wrap up.
11 billion naira has been stolen from the Kwara State government between 2011 and 2019. Specifically, 2 billion naira cash was withdrawn just within 8 days of the February 2019 elections. That is so, like, there's so much correlation between money being withdrawn just before the elections, and this was done through a forensic audit. So the same audit team has now recommended some companies, some individuals, that these people should be prosecuted because 11 million has been traced into no projects, and then the monies are gone from the Kwara State government. So I think every state should do this. At least you can see where your...
Okay, that is all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we want our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.